Hello everybody, Chad here, and I just got back from a sort of last-minute trip to CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. There I had one goal in mind, and that was to try both the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive. And guess what? Mission accomplished. So I'm gonna let you know what my experiences were, and then also a breakdown of each, item by item, how they compare. The first thing I got to try was the Oculus Rift, and this is the edition that will be going out to consumers that you can pre-order right now. The headset is very well constructed with a very small amount of that screen door effect that I was kind of used to seeing in the earlier versions of VR. I got to play a demo where I teleported around, grabbing guns, grabbing bullets out of the air, and flicking them back at enemies. I have to say this was incredibly immersive, super fun. I got to use the touch controllers, which only glitched out a few times. A big thing that I noticed was that they give you sort of ghost versions of your hands, but they're not actually your hands. The most difficulty that I felt was when I had to do something like grab the barrel of the shotgun that was in front of me and then pull it back to reload. This felt like it was really difficult to aim where my hand was in space in relation to the gun I was holding. And also aiming felt a little bit floaty. It was really cool that you could close one eye, look down the barrel, and fire, and about every time I was accurate with it. This was a standing demo, so I had a small area of space that I could stand and move around in, but there was definitely no walking around. All in all, I found that this was really well done. But there were a few glitches that we encountered where hands would disappear. It looked like more game development bugs than actually hardware bugs, but there were some glitchiness with it. Next, I got to try out the HTC Vive. Now, this is the second development kit. They still have one more development kit before their release version. And I have to say that this felt a lot better put together. One aspect that is different is that you have an entire room to move around in. You have 16 feet diagonally to walk around. There's also a camera in the front of the visor so that you can see your surroundings. That camera in the front of the headset is super duper useful. I didn't realize how much I was going to use it until it was actually there. Being able to see the room, interact with objects. One difficulty is that there's a big cord running down your back, but you could avoid it by double-clicking on the controller, activating that camera, and stepping around it and untangling yourself, which could be super difficult if you were blinded by the headset. You do have to dedicate basically an entire room to this sort of setup. It would take a living room or a spare bedroom without any furniture in it. That is quite a thing to require if you're just gonna be doing VR gaming every once in a while. Another big difference is that instead of representing your hands with sort of ghost hands, you always had the controller, so you could see a version of the controller in virtual space. I found that this worked way better than the ghost hands version on the Oculus. You could look at the detail of the controller, see when you were pulling down the trigger, see where your thumb was on the touchpad, and also using the controller in-game felt a lot more natural because you're holding these objects. Sure, they're floating in space, they're not connected to your body, but it just felt a lot better of a solution. That extra dimension of walking around in space was really mind-blowing. Being able to stand in front of a droid that you're about ready to repair and have to move out of the way for fear that it might bump into you is mind-blowing. Being able to walk around an entire room, I don't feel like is just a gimmick. Now, let's go down a list of things to compare the two. In terms of price point, we already know that the Oculus will cost $599. The HTC price will be announced at pre-order, so we don't know what it is. HTC has said that consumers will be happy with their investment in response to the backlash at the Rift price. Now, in terms of release date, for the Oculus, we already know the release date, March 28th, 2016, and you can pre-order it right now. As far as the HTC Vive, it will release sometime in April 2016, and they've stated that pre-orders will start on Leap Day, February 29th, 2016. In terms of controllers, the Oculus will ship with an Xbox One controller and have Oculus Touch later on. With the Vive, you can use your Steam controller, any PC-compatible gamepad, or the HTC Wands. In conclusion, after using both of these products, I have to say, the HTC Vive may be my favorite so far. And the fact that we're only on development kit 2 with a third to come out and then a release version after that, this is very, very exciting times for the HTC Vive. Well, let's see what happens next. Is moving around a room way too much for you? Can you not dedicate the space? Are you excited about the Oculus? Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and for more videos just like this, head on over to youtube.com/omgchad and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.